Hello, everybody. Welcome to Church at Home with Rachel for Tuesday, the 24th of January. My name is Rachel Parker. I am an Anglican priest, and I serve in the congregations of Dayspring Ministries, which is St. Mary's Edgerton, St. Saviour's in Vermilion, St. Thomas in Wainwright, in the Diocese of Edmonton in Alberta, and the Anglican Church of Canada. I'm glad to have you with me. For those of you who have been hanging around with me for a while, you know I love to read, and I've always got something new going on. And just recently, I started reading this book called Pastrix by Nadia Bolz-Weber, who is a Lutheran pastor in Colorado, I believe. And it's called Pastrix, The Cranky, Beautiful Faith of a Sinner and a Saint. Now, I got to warn you, I really do encourage you to get this book or look her up. She is, wow. She is honest and brutal and fantastic, an incredible Christian, and totally one of the people I think that if Jesus was walking the streets today, she'd be the first one he would choose. She just really is down to earth. Now, I must warn you, when you buy this book, if you buy this book or get it from the library, that she's earthy. She uses words that I try hard not to use in good company, and words that I have never put down pen to paper. She's very open and honest about her history, and this is a book about her story. And I'd like to quote you here. She's got a definition of what Pastrix means in the beginning of the book. Pastrix, noun, 1. A term of insult used by unimaginative sections of the church to define female pastors. 2. Female ecclesiastical superhero. Trinity from The Matrix in a clerical collar. What on earth was that noise? A pastress just drop-kicked a demon into the seventh circle of hell. 3. Cranky, beautiful faith of a sinner and saint. From newwineskinsdictionary.com. That's Nadia Bolz-Weber's group. Reading her story, she was a comedian before she went to become a Lutheran seminarian and then a Lutheran pastor. And you got to look her up, Nadia Bolz-Weber. She's incredible. But this right here in the introduction, right off the bat, she says here, smiley TV preachers might tell you that following Jesus is about being good so that God will bless you with cash and prizes. But really, it's much more gruesome and meaningful. It's about spiritual physics. Something has to die for something new to live. Death and resurrection, the recurring experience of seeing the emptiness, weeping over our inability to fill it or even understand it, and then listening to the sound of God speaking our names and telling God's story is a messy business. That's something has to die for resurrection. Something has to die to live. That's an astounding statement that it speaks so much truth to me. And when I look back over my life, it speaks great truth to the whole of my own journey, spiritual and otherwise. I've had great periods of time where things have been great. They've been wonderful. Things have been going well, and you don't really notice. It's amazing how when things are going well, we don't really pay attention to it. It's when things start to go wrong that we do. I always think to myself when I have a really bad cold, or I've got the flu or something, it's like, okay, I'm freezing and I'm drinking hot tea and I'm wrapped in blankets and my throat's sore, and I'm thinking, okay, God, I promise when I'm feeling better, I'm going to thank you and pay attention to all the glory of your life, and I'll thank you for healing me, and just please make me better right now. And I'm miserable and I have no energy. I can't do anything. And then lo and behold, you get over it. Your immune system kicks in, you get healthy again, and it doesn't take me very long to forget all my promises to God. Looking back on my life, though, I can see there are long patches where things have been really good. Things have been moving along moving along really well. And then all of a sudden I come up against a wall, or I drop off a cliff, or I get spun around like in a car accident or something, where you end up facing in the opposite direction and you don't know how that happened. And it feels like something has died. There's been an ending to something, an ending to the good days, an ending to a relationship, an ending to a dream or a hope, the ending to something, the natural ending to something. It could be not, the ending itself doesn't have to be a bad thing, but just coming up against that portion of your life is finished. Wow, it really can hit you right in your heart, doesn't it? Well, the thing about endings is the truth that we cannot have a new beginning until there has been an ending. We cannot, even the life cycle itself. When you plant crops, when my farmers go out and plant their crops, they plant seed that is buried in the ground and freezes over the winter and dies. It has died. New life is within it, but it's dormant. It needs something else. And then eventually the warm sun rays penetrate the ground, and the water from the sky starts to soften it, and it begins to grow, and a brand new thing happens, and we have grain, or we have sunflowers, or we have roses, or whatever it is that is growing. That which once was dead has become new again. And it too will not last forever. It will die, and it will leave the seed. In its death, it will leave the seed of that new life that will come. Now, we are into a world where we're creating these plants that grow but don't reseed. There's an ethical problem, I think, there. We can talk about that another day. But if we look at the natural way of things, death begets life. Life begets death. It's a cycle. It happens. And everything's like that. Relationships, jobs, school, our kids, everything there. Some of those deaths, some of those endings are harsh and really difficult to deal with. Many of them, we don't even really notice them all that much. We might notice them a bit. They cause a hiccup in our plans. We have to slow down for a minute. But there's lots of endings in life that we walk through and we don't even notice, but then we benefit from what that ending gave us, the opportunities that come up because of it, the new life, the new hope, the new dreams that evolve because the old has died. I resonate when she says about TV preachers telling that if you follow Jesus and be good, that God will bless you with cash and prizes. It doesn't work that way. Yes, God does bless us with prizes. He blesses us with a depth of spirituality and the wisdom and strength to get through the difficult times and to celebrate and enjoy and have great understanding of beauty when the good times are here. But it isn't about a prosperity gospel. It's about having a prosperity soul, I think, that our soul grows and continues to become richer and fuller and more able to be present to the world that God is sharing with us and that we can share with other people. More so, the love that we have to share with other people and the love that others will share with us when we become aware that it's not about the material stuff. It's not even about this particular life. It's about how we live in relationship with God. Something has to die for something new to live. Death and resurrection, the recurring experience of seeing the emptiness, weeping over our inability to fill it or even understand it, and then listening to the sound of God speaking our names and telling God's story. It's a messy business. Those times when we don't recognize, when we don't really pay attention to the ending and we hop into the new thing, that's okay. That's good. That happens a lot. But there are times in our lives when we need to allow ourselves to be in that darkness, like the seed buried in the ground, when that death has happened, whether it is a real death of a person or whether it is the metaphorical death of a dream or a hope or something that we had been doing. We need to allow ourselves to feel that emptiness, to weep over our inability to fill it up or even understand it, so that when we have mourned that loss, we have acknowledged it, and in mourning we show our love for what we have lost. Then we are able to start listening for God speaking a new word and new life into us. That's powerful. Something has to die for something new to live. This is a messy business, this thing of life, isn't it? I really do encourage you to think about the many ways that you have experienced those deaths, those big physical deaths or those mini deaths, and what having to live through them as you look backward on them and know that you got through it. What is it that God was speaking into your heart in those difficult times? And what is it? What is the beauty? What is the new life that grew out of that death? What was the resurrection in your life from what you lost that carries you forward today. Heavy thoughts for a Tuesday, but we might just find that they can be beautiful thoughts as well. Have a beautiful day. Never forget that you're loved. Never forget I love you. God loves you. You need to love you too. I'll see you again tomorrow for Church at Home with Rachel.